There's a coming financial apocalypse. I discovered that paper money is a fraud.
I just came by for my weekly ounce.
Oh, okay.
I have no trinkets for you, so cash.
Cash is grand. What do you like, a round?
Yeah.
31 bucks right now.
Let's do it.
I was born in Massachusetts, and I lived there until I was about 21 when I joined the Army. I went to PorkFest, and the PorkFest really sealed the deal for me that I was coming to New Hampshire, and I really felt like I found some people that actually aligned with some of the different viewpoints. And until I'd gone to PorkFest, I thought I was the only one in the world that was questioning the system and questioning the government. So I came to New Hampshire in 2011. I started the first silver company called Sons of Liberty Mint, and we made and sold over 1 million pieces of silver. We learned a lot of valuable lessons, and then we sold the company to Pyromet in 2017.
I'll trade you a 41 for a 10. How's that? Does that sound right?
Okay, seems good.
This is the future right here. You better have silver and or gold, one or the other, or you're gonna be in the sticky wicket. That's what it comes down to.
And you don't want to be in the sticky wicket. I don't even know what that is. I was a Green Beret in the Army Special Forces. And when I was in Afghanistan and then when I was on these different trips, I discovered that there was something very wrong with the monetary system. I saw the governments around the world were wasting massive amounts of paper dollars. I discovered that paper money is a fraud. What I mean by that is that people who are in charge of purchasing supplies and equipment would intentionally overpay for things because the person selling them the items would agree to give them a kickback. And so if you've ever heard about the $500 Army hammer or the $1,000 Army toilet seat, it's real. There's a sort of a politician kind of guy in charge of purchasing things for the military, for the government. They'll take a $5 hammer that they would have paid $5 for, and the manufacturer will call it a special hammer. They'll say it's been painted with a special paint that doesn't absorb neuro and nerve gas, that keeps the soldiers safe so that if they pick up a hammer, they don't get the nerve gas on it. So in turn, they'll spray it with this 30-cent paint, but then they'll charge $500 for it. And so then what happens is that the maker of the hammer, he still has a hammer that cost him $5.50 to make. But the buyer of the hammers, he's gonna get an approved budget because he's gonna tell the Congress that you care about soldier safety, don't you? And they'll approve to spend $10 million on these hammers, and this guy will spend the $500 on each hammer, and as promised, the seller of the hammers will secretly send him $200 for each hammer on the back door of the whole thing in slush money that comes out the other side. So the more they overpay for things, the more room there is for everyone to get kickbacks. There's a huge waste factory going on there. And if the American people knew that they were paying 95% more for everything just so that the people involved in making decisions could steal most of it, I don't think they'd like the value of that. Okay, so I will see you tomorrow. All right, thank you, and I wish you a wonderful day. Oh, and tell your wife happy birthday. I hope you give her some silver. Yes, because I was there, I observed and I learned what things were happening. And I had to question, with a monetary system where the governments waste the money in order to steal from it, how could that work? I looked more into the financial system, and I learned that in 1964, the quarters, the dimes, the $50 coins, they were made of silver. But in 1965, they switched those silver coins with silver-colored coins that have no silver in them. And ever since they've done that, the purchasing power of the dollar has gone down by 99%. We are now headed to the Mint, which is at a secret location in New Hampshire in the Concord area. We don't give out the location of the Mint for security reasons. In 2016, we sold the first Mint, and I had learned many valuable lessons. And so we sold the company to a big Philadelphia silver refinery. They hired me for a year to to work for them. And while I was there, I studied everything they were doing. And then a few years later, I came back to New Hampshire and started another silver company, this one called Local Silver Mint. And Local Silver Mint, we have a store in Ware, New Hampshire, where we can serve the customers in person. They can come in and buy, and they can walk out with the silver in their hands. We are making a small percentage of profit compared to the amount of volume of silver. So for example, we have, for every $100,000 that gets through the pipes, we maybe make about $5,000 or $10,000. So whereas if you were selling other merchandise, you usually make about a 50% profit, that sort of thing. Our case, it's thinner margin, but we have a lot more volume. So we have literally millions of dollars worth of silver every month that go through the mint. And that is actually very little compared to other big mints. So like the really big mints out there, they do millions and millions of dollars every day worth of silver and gold that they mint. We're basically the biggest small mint in the country. One of the things that I discovered was that there wasn't a lot of fractional silver. All the silver was like big 1 ounce or 10 ounce bars. And I felt like there was a missing piece, that people were gonna need silver for barters and trades. These paper financial systems, they last for only about 50 to 70 years is about the longest that they last. And right now, the Federal Reserve note is the longest running paper currency of its time and currently. They always end with the government becoming much more corrupt and spending more money and inflating the currency, printing more money, borrowing more money, and ultimately devaluing the purchasing power of the currency. Once in 100 years this happens, they're gonna crash the current financial system in order to lead people into their new financial system. And so people that don't have little pieces of silver, they're gonna have a lot of trouble buying basic essentials. So we decided we needed to fill a void, and we needed to make a product that wasn't really available. And so we started making 1/10 ounce. Our silver mint, we've expanded it 3 times so far. This is not a conventional facility. Almost everything we're doing is improvisational, is creative problem solving, it is resourcing and using what's available. So our manufacturing facility is actually a bunch of steel containers connected together, and we have welded all kinds of contraptions and things to it. Our minting facility is more powerful per square foot, I would venture to say, than any other mint that I know of, for the amount of square footage that we have and that we use versus the amount that we produce. We're making approximately 20,000 silver bars per week with just a small crew of 3 to 4 guys. All right, welcome. We have our air intake systems, they're all around, and that allows us to have lots of fresh air. This is our blanking press. This thing is fantastic, it came from Michigan. This thing punches out 120 silver bars per minute. Fabian is stamping some silver, so he's just checking it out, and he's checking the quality of the silver bars to make sure that they're right before he starts sending them through faster. Our mission is to help Americans become better prepared for what is coming. The financial system has an expiration date. The same way they installed the Federal Reserve System in 1907 is, to me, the same way that they're going to install the new digital central bank track and trace everything you do currency system. And so we are on a mission to help people protect their hard-earned wealth by having silver that is protected from dollar inflation. Over this next couple years, they are going to inflate the currency so much so that in a year, each dollar will have half as much purchasing power. But if you have silver or gold, it will hold its purchasing power. I would suggest that those little pieces of silver for barters and trades is the most important silver in your stack. These melting furnaces, we built these using parts from the local hardware store, and there you can see the body of it is made from a galvanized steel trash can. These trash can melting furnaces are leaps and bounds better than the $50,000 electric machines that my old company used to have. This past 3 years with local silver mint, here we are, we're an incredible place. We have an incredible process. We have really amazing people, and we're very lucky. And I don't feel that it's a coincidence. I think that the cosmos has come forth and given us all the things that we need when we need them. And so over this next few years, we're gonna help a lot of customers so that people can do commerce and exchanges without the need for the internet or Federal Reserve notes, which may not work that well forever. We've been making incredible progress this past year in particular, and my goal was to earn $100 million, and I feel very good that that's going to happen. But the process of getting there has been insane.